howling good hello to all you magnificent maniacs out there. Chuck Dewclaw here, your favorite furball of forbidden fun, back with another episode of the Lewd Lycanthrope. And tonight, we're sinking our teeth into the primal, the raw, the undeniably manly. That's right, folks, we're talking about another top 5 list, and this time it's the top 5 manliest jobs. Forget those flowery metrosexuals you see prancing around these days. We're going back to basics. Back to the primal urge to conquer, to build, to, well, provide. We're talking about the kind of men who can chop down a redwood with their teeth, wrestle a bear for its honey, and still look good doing it. These aren't your average desk jockeys, folks. These are the alpha males, the leaders of the pack, the main characters of the working world, if you will. Men who laugh in the face of danger, or at least they would if they weren't too busy looking rugged and being absolutely ready to go at a moment's notice. So tonight, we're unleashing the beast within and counting down the creme de la creme of testosterone. The jobs that separate the lambs from the wolves. So grab your favorite chew toy, or your partner if they're into that. No judgment here. But dim the lights and prepare to get your fur ruffled. Because tonight, things are going to get hairy. Maybe even a little sweaty, too. Let's let the hunt begin, shall we? Alrighty, folks. Starting this list off with number 5, we've got professional wrestlers. These spandex-clad gladiators, or as I like to call them, human Ken dolls after a serious gym session and questionable tanning regimens. Well, they grapple, they groan, they gyrate. It's like a Chippendales show, but with more simulated violence and significantly less clothing. They train rigorously, perfecting moves like the atomic wedgie and the flying, whatever, never mind. It's all very athletic, I'm sure. Though I suspect half the training is just learning how to oil those glistening pecs. And the other half, well, it's practicing their dramatic screams because, let's face it, half the fun of wrestling is the theatricality. The grunts, the groans, the dramatic hair flips, it's all part of the package. And what a package it is, folks. Wrestlers put up with a lot. They abuse their bodies for years on end. If you ever watch any documentaries about retired wrestlers and you see how broken down they are, you would walk away with a new appreciation of the art that these guys have provided to us over the years. But it is definitely and undeniably one of the most manliest jobs out there, in my opinion. Moving on to number 4, and definitely one of my favorites, and I know I got people out there with the vein popping on the side of their head going, Chuck, what about commercial fishermen? Well, here you go. These salty dogs brave the high seas. Mostly because they haven't discovered Tinder yet, in my opinion. Or maybe they have, I don't know. The reception out there could be terrible, or maybe they just haven't used a satellite phone before. They wrestle with monstrous fish. Or at least fish that look monstrous after a week at sea without a shower and a healthy dose of sea shanties. And maybe a little bit of rum on top of it. It's the deadliest catch, but with the higher probability of catching something else besides fish. And if you don't know what I'm talking about flatlining folks. They're rugged, they're weathered, and they smell like fish, but in a good way, a manly way. They're tough people. These guys, they spend weeks on end with the smell of low tide clinging to their clothes. That's dedication. Or it's a serious lack of access to, well, anything resembling civilization or a decent shower. They're out there battling the elements, wrestling with the creatures of the deep. Well, let's just say they come back with some interesting stories. About the fish, of course. And maybe a few about those so-called mermaids. Moving on with the list at number 3, we've got oil rig workers. These guys are the titans of testosterone. They live on floating metal platforms in the middle of the ocean. Basically a giant, oily, potentially explosive bachelor pad with a view of, well, water, a little bit more water, occasional seagull, maybe a passing tanker, I don't know. It's a tough life, but hey, at least they get a tan, from the heat and the occasional fire. And those hard hats, well, they're practical. Look, they wrestle heavy machinery. Stuff that could arm wrestle a T-Rex, face the elements, all of them, sideways rain, wind stealing your hat. They risk a lot, folks. A lot. Like a honey badger at a bee convention in a Speedo. It's a dangerous job, but someone's got to do it. Hard hats are practical, sure, but handling heavy machinery in heavy situations, you know what I mean. That's what real practicality is. These guys are so manly they make a lumberjack look like a dandelion. The real deal. Top of the testosterone totem pole, folks. They smell like hard work and vaguely flammable materials. And it goes without saying, they're pretty tough. I mean, really tough. They're the kind of guys who can fix a broken pipe with whatever's handy. I mean, they're out there in the middle of the ocean, folks. They're the MacGyvers of the ocean. And the barnacles of bravery, in my opinion. They're the kind of guys who can handle anything, except maybe a sensitive conversation about their feelings. I don't know. But they are definitely titans of their trade. Sliding in and shocking us at number 2, we've got powerline workers. That's right, folks. These high-flying heroes, or as I like to call them, the human lightning rods with a death wish, they tango with live wires, which is basically like juggling chainsaws naked during a lightning storm. It's a shocking job, folks, both literally and figuratively. And those hard hats, just like the oil rig workers, safety first, of course, but let's be real. They're also great for hiding those questionable haircuts you got last weekend. These guys brave dizzying heights and enough voltage to power a small city or to keep our lights on or other things charged. They're the unsung heroes of the modern world, with incredibly strong hands for holding on to those lines while they're up in the bucket. They're fearless. Heights? Nope. Electricity? Nah. These guys are so dedicated they'd probably climb a power pole during their own wedding just to make sure the lights are perfect for the reception. And bravery? These guys are so brave they make guys who wrestle alligators look like they're afraid of lukewarm baths. Anyway, powerline workers, massive respect. And if anyone sees a flock of slightly crispy chickens wearing tiny hard hats, please let me know. It's a long story. Also, if anyone finds a slightly used hard hat that plays disco, I'm missing mine. Anyone else smelling barbecue? And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, or dreading. Chuck's number 1 spot on the top 5 manliest jobs goes to professional bull riders. That's right, folks, these aren't your average horseback riders. These are the daredevils, the adrenaline junkies, and, let's just say the committed, in more than one way. These dudes strap themselves to a 2-ton Fury tornado with horns and a grudge. They live through 8 seconds of pure, unadulterated chaos. Beast versus man. And let me tell you, the beast usually wins. And these cowboys are tough, too. Broken bones, concussions, the constant threat of being trampled into campfire chili. Why do they do it, you may ask? Is it the thrill, or the crowd, or maybe they just lost a really bad bet with a buddy? It's extreme horseback riding with a much higher chance of needing a chiropractor when it's over. And those tight jeans? Well, they're not just for show. Let's just say that's the reason why the women folk have to wipe off the seats when they get up. And the best part, after they finish the ride, they gotta try to walk normally. It's a sight to behold. They hobble around like they're auditioning for a zombie movie, all while trying to maintain that I'm a tough cowboy. Swagger is my middle name. It's truly inspiring and slightly terrifying. So raise a glass of milk, maybe for their bones, I'm sure they need it, to the professional bull riders, the bravest or craziest men in sports. You guys definitely take the cake. There you have it, my fur-bearing savages. the top 5 manliest jobs according to Chuck. Did we nail it? Or did we miss any professions that scream testosterone louder than a monster truck rally? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? We're always looking for new subjects for our investigations anyway. And hey, don't forget to like this video if you thought it was manly enough. And also subscribe to the channel for more hair-raising content. We've got everything from fur grooming tips to, well, let's just say things that'll make your grandma blush. And then probably ask for the link. And hey, if you're feeling extra manly tonight, why not share this video with your buddies? Spread the man love around. Oh God, whoa, that came out way wrong. But we're going to stick with it, because comedy. Anywho, on a serious note, I did want to say this. I want to give a huge shout out to one of our viewers. This video was their awesome idea, and honestly, they're a lifesaver. You see, YouTube's been acting real Karen-ish with me lately. They took down a couple of videos I tried to upload due to questionable reasons, which left me kind of scrambling for content this weekend. But thanks to them, I was able to bring you this manly masterpiece. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You're a true champion of the manliness team and an alpha among our pack. But with that, folks, I want to say thanks for watching, all of you magnificent mutts out there. Stay rugged, stay ready, and most importantly, stay furry, my friends.